Tim Reha here live. Great event happening up so far. The speakers keep getting better. So today we have Jack Young, who's the director of the Qualcomm Life Fund.
Yes, that's right. Well, thanks, Tim. Thanks. I'm glad to be here on Qualcomm Life Fund. As you know, we are a $100 million dedicated digital health fund. I guess is one of the first and most established fund in the digital investment landscape. And for the past many years, we have been invested pretty heavily, I would say, in comparatively speaking, in digital health area. And today we have about 8 companies invested. 7 of those are in the U.S., very different stages, and 1 in the U.K. So certainly we are at the forefront of the digital health startup scene.
And you guys are super active in the community. We worked with you guys up at the demo conference a couple years back. And today's panel was a 360-degree view of funding. What was happening inside?
Yeah, so as a corporate venture investor, we've been pretty active, but I also have to say, we can only dealing with companies with certain maturities. By definition, corporate ventures typically take a little bit step back. And in our case, for example, we're dealing with typical revenue-producing stage companies, companies. So what I want to do is bring together a panel of experts and talk about what happened before that, before a company funded by Qualcomm or some more a more big institutional investor tend to stay back a little bit. So the panelists that I invited, including folks from incubators, folks from debt financing, in fact, and also a few angel investors. So we talk about the nuances and the best practices and some of the pitfalls to avoid in the whole cycles before leading into a institutional investment round.
What's the value add that Qualcomm Ventures and you guys provide?
Yeah, so that's a very loaded question. Qualcomm is obviously a big company. We bring a myriads of value to the companies. So foremost is obviously, with venture capital, I would say the first thing that we bring is capital, right? So that's the first thing, the big thing to get people started. But that aside, we're corporate, what we call value-added strategic investors. So Qualcomm as a company has probably the best knowledge in what happened to the digital world, especially the wireless. We are the foremost leading vendors in that area. So we'll help you to perhaps find the best digital solutions to bring the best practice to the life sciences or to the digital health arena. So aside from the technology aside, we also have a vast ecosystem. We have partners just about everywhere among the payers, the carriers, the OEMs. So any of those things, we can help you to build relationships and bring you to the right people and provide you the right inputs. So I would consider that's a second value. And the third is that it's just by you associate with Qualcomm, there's lots of halo factors. So obviously we're here to educate the market and drive the market. I think associate with Qualcomm Ventures give you lots of halo factors. And we are all here to sell hope, right? Sell future. So it is certainly great to associate with a brand name like Qualcomm.
Tips for entrepreneurs. You see a lot of deal flow, and what are kind of the signals that you're looking for successful ventures?
Yeah, I was bring back specifically to digital health, and I was telling people that technology is oftentimes an easy part of it, because if you look at some of the things that techniques people try to deploy in here, it's not so much different from e-commerce and the digital media. So the technology side is relatively easy. The biggest thing that we're looking for is the business model, and especially whether you have addressed the needs of multiple constituents. For example, what's there for the payers, what's there for the providers, and what's there for the patients. Unless you can line those interests together, it's really hard to scale and to gain traction. So we oftentimes ask entrepreneurs to check out these checklists and make sure they understand that. And what we're really looking for ourselves, for example, when we're ready to write that check, make the investment, is typically in the stage where they have gained some early commercial tractions. When I say that, I mean beyond the pilot stage, meaning somebody is willing to provide you a contract with a multi-year contract services for a service providing company. That's a sign that people are starting to take you serious, and that's the time we are most comfortable and confident to write checks.
So if you're ready at the right stage, you can connect with Jack. What would be the best process to find you and the right folks within the Qualcomm Venture Network?
Yeah, obviously being, as I said, one of the most prolific investor and one of the leading companies, we're highly visible, and Qualcomm Ventures, we do have a website, so feel free to drop us a note. And if you want to find me personally, I can be found on the LinkedIn and any social media, tweets, Twitters and Facebook. Probably the LinkedIn is probably the best way to, yes.
Okay, well, great. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate supporting entrepreneurship here, which is the innovation which makes us all well in the future, right?
Thank you, Tim. Thanks very much.